friends, and welcome to Game Revival,
where we take a look back into some of the not so highly rated titles that have come out throughout the years.
We try to find the good in games that were rejected, neglected, and, well, downright hated.
Well, today we'll be looking at Sonic R for the Sega Saturn. Lots of people had negative things to say about the music, the controls, the graphics, and, well, pretty much everything about this game.
Sounds rough. Let's see if we can find the good.
Alright, so we have Grand Prix mode, which is really only one race at a time, which is strange for a Grand Prix, and Time Attack mode.
And with the Time Attack, we can pick between normal and reverse maps, get 5 balloons, where you have to find the 5 balloons that are spread out on the track as fast as possible, and tag 4 characters, where the computer players try to run from you, and you have to see how fast you can tag each of them. The last 2 are very unique to this game, and it really extends the life of it. Getting into the game itself, we get to hear what it has to offer.
Plenty of classic sounds are ripped straight from Sonic titles in the past, like the jump sounds of Golden Rings.
Even no complaints about that.
What many people had an issue with was the soundtrack. Now, although many people agree it was high in quality, they just feel it was an ill fit for a Sonic game.
Yeah, but it never really bothered me.
I often found myself singing along or tapping with the music. The developers may have thought about the music becoming distracting or annoying, so they gave you an option to turn off the lyrics, which I feel is a pretty awesome option to have in a game like this, because without the lyrics, it sounds pretty close to what you'd find in any other Sonic title.
Agreed, but even so, I think that I will leave the vocals on. One thing that is up to par is the roster. Only 4 characters are available from the start, but there are 5 characters that you can unlock, and they all have their own pros and cons and special abilities.
And a few of these characters are actually unique to Sonic R as well, and I find it's actually pretty cool when they show up for a challenge race.
And winning these races permanently unlocks them for use.
Everyone is in agreement with the graphics. Now, this game looks great at 30 frames per second, with any track obstacle being masked by a misting effect.
So instead of the upcoming track and buildings randomly popping up out of nowhere, they gradually fade into view, making the loading feel a lot more natural.
This game also uses reflective textures, making for some realistic looking water and a pretty sick loading screen. These visuals are pretty awesome. However, what everyone has an issue with the graphics in this game are the character models. Now, they're polygonal, and they look a little odd considering how well the rest of the game looks.
I'm looking at you, Knuckles.
Although, they're not perfect, they're pretty decent for the time, and, I fail to see how that ruins a game.
Yeah, the thing that most players get into a tizzy over is the controls. That's the big thing. They feel really weird, and you have to take the time to get used to them. And when you do, they're good.
Well, the issue is you wouldn't expect to be controlling Sonic and Friends like this. I mean, you look at it like a Sonic game, and you're not going to get the right feel. But if you look at it as a racer, the controls feel spot on. The high-speed characters, they have, handling issues, and the slower ones handle better, but, obviously slower, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how racing games are.
All the tracks have interesting designs, which I feel is pretty neat. They all are unique, and they're sometimes confusing as hell, but they all come together pretty well.
Some paths will take you through the back way, or over, under other roads, and sometimes even dead ends.
When racing through Grand Prix, one of the unique things is you'll find Sonic coins, hidden paths, and a plethora of iconic golden rings.
The rings that you pick up can be used to open up new pathways on each track, which can be shortcuts.
Or lead to Sonic coins or elusive Chaos Emeralds.
Some of these are easy to find, but some require a bit of exploration, which adds to a sense of urgency to the races.
And a bit more depth to the game.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about this game was actually exploring each level, finding new areas, seeing what they contain, and how fast I can get through the lap. And it's really kind of like a traditional Sonic game with all the different paths you can take.
Another important thing to mention is the AI. On easy mode, the CPU will pretty much choose the main path the entire time. However, when you go to higher difficulties, you'll start to notice that they start to take advantage of shortcuts.
And the different paths?
Yes.
Speaking of that, it makes things tricky because they can pass you up at a moment's notice and take the lead even, and you won't even notice.
Leaving you wondering, how the heck did they do that?
And that'll make you want to explore and find the biggest advantage.
When it comes down to it, this game does a good job of feeling like both a racing game and a Sonic game. Combining both elements of racing and platforming feels pretty good.
Once you get used to the controls, this game really shines, and it really is a shame that it was so overlooked. Until next time, keep an open mind, go out there, and make a new opinion for yourselves.
See ya.